Hi, my name's Kevin with Hotshot Repair, and today I'm going to be replacing the screen on an iPhone 6s Plus. The screen is cracked, but the LCD and touchscreen seem to work okay, so we're just going to replace the screen and make the phone look like new again. We're going to start by prepping the new screen. We remove the plastic from the LCD backplate as well as the proximity sensor. Let's start by turning off the phone. Then we remove the two pentalobe 1 screws in the bottom of it. Now we pry gently on the screen to lift it up off the frame. After you've loosened the adhesive on the sides of the phone, you can lift up on the screen. You're going to want to start by removing the two screws on the battery cover plate. Set these aside. They're different lengths, so you want to keep them separated and organized. Remove the cover plate, set it aside, and then unplug the battery to remove power from the phone. Now you're going to remove the 5 screws from the LCD connector cover plate. These are all different sizes as well, so you want to keep them organized. You'll notice I just set them kind of in the same positions they were at on my mat. And then set the plate aside. You unplug the LCD connector, the digitizer connector, and the home button connector. I start by removing the 3 screws from the ear speaker cover. Again, they're all different sizes, so keep them separated. Set the plate aside, remove the ear speaker, and now I use a pair of tweezers to disconnect the proximity sensor from a little plastic holder. And then we're going to remove the top microphone. I like to start by removing the top screw for the LCD cover plate and the home button bracket. Remove the bracket, set it aside, and unplug the home button. Then I use a metal spudger to lift up on the home button flex cable and remove the home button. Now there's 6 screws along the sides of the LCD cover plate. Set these aside. They're all the same size, so you can just kind of put them in a pile. Then remove the cover plate. Get your new screen ready, replace the cover plate, and reinstall the 6 screws along the sides. Now we're going to reinstall the home button. and the home button bracket, and the 2 screws that secure it. We reinstall the proximity sensor, front camera, and ear speaker. I had a little bit of trouble getting the proximity sensor to seat fully in its plastic holder, but you just press down with the end of a pair of tweezers to secure it. Reinstall the ear speaker and the ear speaker bracket. Secure that with the 3 screws. We're going to reinstall the screen by connecting the LCD, the digitizer, and the home button flex cables. Make sure they're all flush. Reconnect the battery. Turn it on to test it. Now we're going to reinstall the LCD connector cover and secure it with the 5 screws that came out of it. You want to make sure that each screw goes in the hole that it came out of, as the longest screw will damage the logic board if it's put in the wrong place. Then reinstall the battery connector cover and the 2 screws that came out. Now here you'll notice a problem that I leave in the video intentionally to show what kind of issues can pop up. That notification on the home screen is for a Touch ID error, which is common if the home button cable isn't plugged in properly. On the iPhone 6s Plus, this can be because of a damaged cable that was damaged at manufacturer. It could be an unplugged cable, or it could be damage to the home button. I'm lifting up the LCD connector cover here to make sure that it's just not plugged in properly. So you'll see me disconnect it and then reconnect it and see if it fixes the issue. We're also going to unplug the battery just to remove power from the device. And then unplug it and plug it back in. Kind of check with your fingernail to see if it's secure. Turn the device back on and we'll wait to see if it worked. You'll also see me getting another screen just in case it doesn't work. Then I would try a new screen to make sure it's not the bridge cable. But see, it turned on, the home button's connected and working properly. So it was just a loose connection. Now we're going to reconnect the battery connector cover and the LCD connector cover. Reseat the screen. And reinstall the two pentalobe screws that go in the bottom. Now I hand it to the customer who was watching the whole time to make sure that they approve of the work, make sure that the screen works. They test the keyboard to make sure that the edges of the keyboard work properly. We're concerned about the front camera and proximity sensor. So we have them test it out while we're sitting there so we can make sure that the screen works properly and that they're satisfied with it before we continue on to the next step. After they've tested it and approved of the work, we get out the free screen protector that we install at no charge. Here's a pro tip for you guys. Get your screen protector set on the screen and use a piece of Scotch tape as a hinge. I just use packing tape after I center the screen protector on the screen. Tape it to the side of the frame. Then we lift it up, remove the protective cover from the screen, clean it up a little bit to make sure there's no dust on it. And then remove the protective cover from the screen protector. And just kind of from left to right, seat the screen protector, run your finger along the side of it to get it started, and it will kind of seat itself. And we remove the tape. And polish it up. Get our fingerprints off of it. There you go. We hand it back to the customer and finish this ticket.